In the great city of Lagos, where cars honk like restless spirits and lights never sleep, there stood a school called Vix International School, the pride of the nation, the dream of every parent. They said it was the best girls' school in West Africa. Their students spoke polished English, their uniforms shone like morning dew, and their principal, Madame Fidelia, was praised as a woman of wisdom and strength. But beneath those bright halls, something ancient and hungry lived, something that demanded respect, obedience, and blood. That year, a new student named Joy arrived. Joy was 16, tall, curious, and full of dreams. Her mother, a widow who sold fabrics at Balagun Market, had worked for years to save enough to send her there. "My daughter," she said, pressing the admission letter into Joy's hands, "Vix is where destinies are shaped. Keep your faith and remember, not all that shines is gold." Smiled and nodded. "I will make you proud, Mama." But when they reached the massive gates of Vix International School, the girl felt something strange. A cold wind brushed her neck, though the sun was bright. On the tall gate was the school's emblem, a golden crown surrounded by two black snakes. Joy's mother crossed herself and whispered, "Strange symbol for a girls' school." They entered, unaware that the snakes were more than decoration. The first week was full of excitement. Joy met other girls from rich families, some kind, some proud. Roommate Linda was quiet and pale, always reading an old, dusty book written in symbols Joy couldn't understand. "Where did you get that?" Joy asked one night. Linda looked up slowly. "From the library basement. It's not supposed to be there." Joy frowned. "Why?" Linda smiled weakly. "Because it's not a school book, it's a book of calling." "Calling?" "Yes. They say Madame Fidelia prays with it before every exam. That's why no girl from Vix ever fails." Joy laughed. "That's superstition." But as she laughed, the lights in their dorm flickered once, twice, then went off completely. In the darkness, Linda whispered, "You shouldn't laugh, Joy. The book listens." That night, Joy dreamed of a black snake crawling across her bed. Its eyes were red, and its tongue whispered her name. Woke up sweating. From the corner of the room, where Linda's book lay open, came the faint smell of burning incense. When Joy looked closer, she saw a line of words glowing faintly on the page. "The chosen will bear the crown." My children, that was how it began, a simple dream, a strange symbol, and a whisper from a forbidden book. In the city of Lagos, where men chase success and forget their souls, Joy was about to learn that some schools teach more than knowledge, they teach fear. After that strange night, Joy could not shake the dream of the red-eyed snake. She tried to focus on her studies, mathematics, English, and science, but her mind was restless. Every time she passed the library, she felt a pull, like something inside was calling her name. The teachers praised her for her intelligence, but even as she smiled, Joy noticed things that didn't feel right. Some girls walked around with tired faces, as if their spirits had been drained. Others spoke softly of shadows that moved when no one was there. In the evenings, the chapel bell rang, not at the usual hour, but at midnight. One Friday night, Joy could no longer hold her curiosity. Whispered to her roommate, "Linda, what happens when the bell rings at midnight?" Linda's eyes widened. She shut her book quickly. "Don't ask that question." "Why?" Joy pressed. "Because only those who are called can attend the midnight assembly." "Assembly? At that hour?" Linda's lips trembled. "They say it's where Madame Fidelia renews the school's blessing." Joy frowned. "Blessing from who?" But Linda didn't answer. She turned away, whispering softly, "Some blessings are not from heaven." That night, Joy stayed awake long after lights out. The campus was silent. Even the crickets seemed afraid to sing. At exactly midnight, the bell tolled. Gong, gong, gong. Joy crept out of bed, her heart thudding. Through the window, she saw figures dressed in white robes walking toward the old chapel. Followed quietly, her bare feet silent against the floor. From behind a wall, she watched as the students, maybe 20 of them, entered the chapel, each carrying a candle. At the altar stood Madame Fidelia, her eyes glowing faintly red in the candlelight. "My daughters," she said in a voice that echoed like thunder, "we renew the covenant of knowledge tonight." The students bowed their heads. Madame Fidelia lifted a golden crown, the same one on the school's emblem, and placed it on the altar. "The spirit of wisdom rise," she commanded. A cold wind blew. The candles flickered violently, the walls trembled. From the shadow behind the altar, something slithered out, long, black, and alive. Joy gasped softly. It was the snake from her dream. Its scales glowed like molten coal. The girls began to chant in unison. "Vix must rise, Vix must reign. Feed the crown and break no chain." The creature wrapped itself around the crown. Its eyes met Madame Fidelia's, and for a moment the headmistress smiled like a queen of darkness. Joy's legs trembled. She turned to run, but her slipper slipped. The sound echoed across the hall. The chanting stopped. "Who is there?" Madame Fidelia's voice boomed. Froze behind the pillar. The snake hissed, turning its head toward her direction. A student's voice whispered, "Someone watches." Joy ran. Through the corridor, across the field, heart pounding like a drum. She didn't stop until she reached her dormitory. When she looked back from the window, she saw Madame Fidelia standing at the chapel door, holding the crown and smiling straight at her. My children from that night, Joy could no longer sleep in peace. Had seen the thing that was never meant for mortal eyes. For in Lagos City, where people chase grades and glory, some schools do not serve knowledge, they serve the gods of the underworld. After that night, Joy's peace vanished. She began to notice how the air in the classrooms felt heavier, how some girls spoke with strange tongues in their sleep. Even the teachers seemed different, their eyes dim, their smiles empty. Madame Fidelia still walked through the halls like a queen, her perfume filling the corridors, her heels echoing like drums of warning. But Joy could no longer see her as a mere principal. Had seen her summon the spirit in the chapel, and that knowledge burned like fire in her chest. One afternoon, while cleaning her locker, Joy found a folded note slipped between her books. The handwriting was shaky. "If you want to know the truth, meet me at the old library after midnight." It was unsigned, but Joy recognized the ink stain on the corner. It was from Linda. That night, while the school slept, Joy took a torchlight and made her way to the abandoned part of the building, where the old library stood, covered in cobwebs and silence. Linda was already there, waiting beside a broken desk. Face looked pale, almost frightened. "You shouldn't have come," she whispered. "They'll know." "Know what?" Joy asked. Linda looked around nervously, then reached into her bag and brought out the same ancient book Joy had seen before. Its cover was dark red, almost like dried blood. "This," Linda said, "is the Book of Blood. It's the foundation of this school." "Foundation," Joy frowned. "Yes, Madame Fidelia inherited it from the founder, her grandmother, a high priestess of the secret order of Ikenwani, the serpent woman. They built this school not just for education, but as a place of offering." "Offering to what?" "To the spirit of knowledge, but not the one from God." Linda opened the book carefully. The pages shimmered faintly, and Joy could see moving symbols, shapes that twisted like snakes, words written in an unknown tongue. "Every year," Linda whispered, "the spirit demands renewal. The brightest girl in the school is chosen as the vessel. She wears the crown, and her life feeds the power that keeps Vix successful." "Chosen," Joy gasped. Linda nodded, tears welling up. "Last year it was my sister." "Your sister?" "Yes, she was crowned the night before graduation. The next morning she was gone. They said she transferred abroad, but I know she never left these walls." Joy's torchlight flickered. "Then why keep the book?" she asked. Linda sighed. "Because I want to end it, but I can't do it alone. The book listens, it binds itself to whoever opens it, and once it chooses, escape is almost impossible." "How do we destroy it?" "Through blood," Linda said quietly. "Only the chosen's blood can break the covenant." Joy froze. You mean? Linda nodded. The spirit has already chosen this year's vessel, and Joy, it's you. My children, when Joy heard those words, her knees weakened. Destiny had spoken, and not from heaven. For in the land of Lagos, where wealth and reputation shine brighter than truth, many have sold their souls in silence and called it success. That night after Linda's revelation, Joy could not sleep. The air in her dorm room felt thick, pressing against her lungs like smoke. The moonlight shone across her bed, and in that faint glow, she saw something strange, a small red line on her left wrist, thin as a thread, glowing faintly like ember. She rubbed it hard, thinking it was a scratch, but it did not fade. By morning, the mark had taken shape, a curling pattern like a serpent biting its tail. Joy, are you all right? Her friend Ngozi, a cheerful classmate, asked during breakfast. Smiled weakly. I'm fine. But she was not. The mark burned each time Madame Fidelia passed by. During assembly, Madame Fidelia's eyes lingered on her longer than usual. The principal smiled, a cold smile that carried no warmth. Our dear Joy, she said before the crowd, has shown great promise. Excellence runs through her veins. The students clapped. But Joy noticed something. When Fidelia spoke, the teachers lowered their heads, and a few older students whispered words that made the air tremble. That night, Joy confronted Linda. You said the spirit chooses, she said, her voice shaking. Now I have its mark. Linda's eyes filled with sorrow. Then it has begun. The serpent's mark is the seal of the covenant. From this night till the night of graduation, it will test your will. If you resist, it feeds on your fear. If you surrender, it takes your soul. So how do I break it? You can't, not without the crown. The crown holds the key, but stealing it means death. Joy pressed her hand over the glowing mark, her heart beating fast. Then I must try. I won't let that thing control me. Linda grabbed her arm. Joy, you don't understand. The spirit doesn't live in the crown alone, it lives in the people. The teachers, the prefects, even the cleaners. They all serve Madame Fidelia. They call her Mother of Scales. Stared at her in disbelief. Then who is Fidelia, really? A vessel, Linda whispered. The bloodline of Ikenwani never dies. The spirit just moves from one body to another. That night, Joy dreamed again. Was in the chapel, standing before the golden crown. The black snake coiled around it slowly, whispering in a language she couldn't understand. Then it raised its head and hissed. Joy of light, bearer of wisdom, you are mine. The serpent struck, and Joy woke up screaming, sweat pouring down her face. The mark on her wrist now pulsed like a heartbeat. In the darkness, Linda ran to her bed. It's starting, she said. The spirit is claiming you. Joy looked at her trembling hand and whispered, If it wants me, then I'll fight it. Fight it, Linda's voice broke. No one ever has. Joy looked at the window, where the moon hung pale and distant over Lagos City. Then I'll be the first. My children, courage is not the absence of fear. It is standing before darkness and refusing to bow. But sometimes, the darkness fights back harder. Joy was about to learn that when you challenge the spirit world answers.